All right, so we've got a lot of Mario Kart World news, updates, leaks, and rumors to discuss with this game ahead of the April 17th Mario Kart World Focus Direct, which, in case you forgot, will be going live on Thursday the 17th at 6 a.m. Pacific time or 9 a.m. Eastern time, where a lot of these questions will likely be answered. But we have reports suggesting from very credible outlets that there is likely a 120 FPS mode baked into this Mario Kart World experience, which is obviously great news because we know that the Switch 2 does support 120 frames per second in handheld mode, and it sounds like that's coming to Mario Kart World. We also have some major returning tracks that have been leaked online. Well, one major track that might be a massive one that's not been shown to us so far with the various different cups that we've seen Nintendo go through with the Treehouse gameplay footage and all of that. Research has been done to confirm most every playable course with a map outlining very cool details and the roads between these courses. We also have an achievement system in this game where you will unlock some specific things as you complete said achievements, and we have to dive into just how robust this achievement system might be. There is a list of a ton of new and returning racers that have been spotted in the trailers for Mario Kart World, and one leaker with a pretty good track record as of recently is suggesting that the Mario Kart World Direct will absolutely put to bed a lot of the conversation around the price point of this game, which is obviously controversial right now. But we're going to break all of this down. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And I want to first kick it off right over at My Nintendo News, where you can see the following article, which outlines Digital Foundry examines Mario Kart World and suggests there's a 120 FPS mode. You have continuing on down. The gaming technology focused team at Digital Foundry has recently been examining the long-awaited next game in the beloved Mario Kart series, Mario Kart World, for the Nintendo Switch 2. Digital Foundry says that judging from the analysis of the footage, the game's resolution is at 1440p without TAA or temporal upscaling. They go on to say that the game runs at a buttery smooth 60 FPS, which is to be expected, while the game's photo mode runs at 30 FPS. The most interesting thing is that Digital Foundry allude to 120 FPS mode in Mario Kart World, though they haven't seen this up and running. And the big line you want to pay attention to is the one highlighted here, where they say there's also apparently a 120 FPS mode that we don't have any capture of it at the moment. So very big news, and they are not the only ones suggesting this, because you can also see over from Nintendo Everything that there are separate sources like Engadget also following a hands-on session. The site writes, racing has never looked this smooth on any Nintendo console, and this game might be the best first-party showcase of the Switch 2's upgraded display and performance. And they are teasing also the fact that Mario Kart World will likely have a 120 FPS mode, which would be joining Metroid Prime 4 Beyond in the confirmation that game does have a 1080p 120 FPS mode in addition to being able to play it in 4K. And listen, when you're talking about a racing game, this is absolutely a prime candidate to get a higher refresh rate. It's literally going to be what makes the gameplay look that much smoother and feel more responsive. Yes, there is diminishing returns between 60 and 120 FPS, but there is still a noticeable difference, and I am personally very excited to hear that we may actually have this as a playable option in Mario Kart World, likely in a lower resolution because it is at such a high refresh rate, but in handheld mode, something like 720p, maybe upscaled with DLSS or the internal tricks that Nintendo is using. And then you also have that 120 hertz refresh rate would be really cool for Mario Kart World. Then we have to go over to Mario Kart World Leaks Rainbow Road, and this actually comes to us directly from the Nintendo Korean website, and you might notice a different icon that was not spotted on any of the material, the promotional material that is from all of the Treehouse presentation and everything that we saw on screen. However, it does look like this Rainbow Road render or icon is over some water, so I'm thinking it's obviously in the sky with the clouds around it that you can tell. But this is an exciting addition. Obviously, I don't think it's too much of a surprise to see a Rainbow Road track in a Mario Kart, but the fact that Nintendo was kind of hiding this and the Special Cup from all their Treehouse footage, where we've seen 7 cups, we haven't seen the Special Cup. Likely Rainbow Road is the big focal point around that, and considering that it's underwater or in the sky or whatever the case is. I do believe it'll be in the sky. You're probably going to have some kind of teleport mechanism that allows you to go there, and who knows if some of the stuff like Rainbow Road being unlocked is tied to completing the other Grand Prix, or is it unlocked via finding secrets in free roam mode, which there are some rumors around, that having a lot more to deal with than we know about so far, which we will cover in a little bit more detail. But free roam mode would actually be a really cool way to unlock some of these hidden tracks. And while Rainbow Road is a big addition and one we didn't know about previously, it does look like there has been some really well done work on the internet. As you can see, the following image, which actually outlines most all of the playable tracks by name and how they kind of connect with each other with the various highways. Shout outs to the person that created this. I will have their Twitter and post linked in the description down below, so you guys can go into it in more detail. But lots of different stages here. I mean, Acorn Heights, Boo Cinema, SNES Mario Circuit, Dry Bones Burnout, Bowser's Castle, Wii Toad Factory, N64 Wario Stadium, DS Airship Fortress, 3DS Shy Guy Bazaar, DS Desert Hills, Mario Kart Circuit, Whistle Stop Summit, Choco Mountain, Crown City, DK Spaceport, SNES Koopa Troopa Beach, Rainbow Road outlined right here, Peach's Stadium, Wii Moo Moo Meadows, Dandelion Depths, one that has not been identified what it is, a Fairway Oasis, Dino Jungle from the GameCube, Great Block Runes also from the GameCube, Peach Beach, Salty Speedway, 3DS Wario Shipyard, Tour Sky High Island Sunday, really cool spot for that to be, DS DK Pass, Starview Peak. Lots of reason to be excited for a number of different tracks that we are going to see and all of the roads that connect them between each other. It is still hard for me to believe that we are, yes, looking at some level of a open world Mario Kart in terms of what is coming to us very soon on the Nintendo Switch 2, and the way that these tracks intertwine with each other, and probably the things we're going to be able to do in between in free roam mode are very exciting. Is there some kind of potential adventure mode locked behind this game? I really do believe that, as Nintendo has teased that free roam mode has a lot more to it that they were not going into at the Treehouse presentations or the trailer. So I do believe that we have a lot to learn about that mode, and having some kind of specific challenges and or even boss battles, whatever the case, secrets you have to find, different various unlockables that are in this open giant world Mario Kart experience, and you can probably play seamlessly online with your friends and see each other going through at the same time. Those are all very exciting prospects to me. Moving on to more of the leaked and news information that we do know to expect, you can see that Mario Kart World's achievements will give you stickers that you can put on your cart, where you do have this banana natural oil sticker that's unlocked because of a driving distance achievement. And then if you go in and look at when you are selecting your carts, you can see that you do have the ability to slap a sticker on there by hitting the plus button. So as far as how achievements work on a system level for Switch 2, we don't have big clarification on that. We do know that both Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have a full-fledged achievement system, but they seem very tied to the app expansion for those games that help you track things down. So whether or not you can see those achievements on the system level remains to be seen, although I have been seeing some rumors online suggesting that we will be able to view some of our achievements and unlockables on the Nintendo Switch 2 console itself, which would be a really cool upgrade if Nintendo, at least for select games, because it doesn't sound like it's going to be a mandate for third parties or anything like that, but for select first party Nintendo titles to have some kind of achievement system and actually have in-game unlockables tied to them. Very cool idea in my opinion, and something that I hope we see absolutely come to fruition. We also have confirmed Yoshi colors on the Nintendo app, because Nintendo today has been putting out various different screenshots and news updates for a ton of different things related to Switch 2, but Mario Kart World is one of them, and you can see support for various different colored Yoshis that will be playable in Mario Kart World. I would like to also shout out this user over on Reddit, because they did do an analysis and spotted these returning racers, which we will not go through in detail name by name, but you can see them all there on screen, and pause the video if you'd like to read through them. And you have your new racers, which we will actually read through. So we have Nabbit, Hammerbro, Goomba, Spike, Moo Moo, Mr. Blizzard, Chargin' Chuck, Cataquack, Sting Beast, Sidestepper, Monty Mole, Penguin, Biddy Bud, Swoop, Pokey, Fishbone, Pianta, Peepa, and Dolphin. And there is obviously probably more that are going to be uncovered. It does sound like we are going to get a lot of playable characters, and so far we have not seen much series cross promotion in terms of Zelda characters returning, Animal Crossing, things like that. But I do think we're going to see a pretty high level of Nintendo franchise collaboration at the end of the day, at least on some level. I think it'll be more, not less, than what was in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And I wouldn't be surprised if at this Direct, we maybe even get some kind of booster course wave announcement, or at least something that confirms that there will be future updates as time goes on for this game. Now, the last thing I want to highlight in this particular video has to do with this Nash Weedle post over on X, where he actually says, stay tuned for the Mario Kart World Direct on April 17th. It seems that they have some tidbits to tell us that will shut some mouths, and basically referencing all of the talk around the price on this game. And the reason I'm giving some credibility to Nash Weedle is, one, they've gotten a number of different things right over the course of time, leaked numerous projects like Metroid Dread, Mario and Luigi Brothership, and most recently revealed to us that Donkey Kong Bonanza would indeed be the big game for the Nintendo Switch 2 Focus Direct, and that 3D Mario would not be there, when a lot of people were not expecting that to be the case. They have gotten some things wrong in the past as well, and this just sounds like something more of a hype statement. But I will say that considering their track record as of recently, I would pay some attention to this, and I think it's obvious at this point Nintendo is going to show us a lot of new information at this Mario Kart World Direct. We're probably going to learn about 200cc mode, mirror mode as an unlockable as well. We will probably have some kind of battle system. I know people are worried that that might not be there in this installment because they are technically doing different things like Knockout Tour and different gameplay modes. I just don't think we've seen battle yet. And I do think the battle might exist in some of the free roam stuff where you can actually, you know, hide out far away from other people and try to basically drive far away from them, and maybe you have them on the mini map so you can track where people are, but there are ways to disguise yourself. There's all types of possibilities that Nintendo can do with this actual big open world Mario Kart game, and I think we're going to see a lot of that stuff outlined that just hasn't been explained by Nintendo so far. And hopefully when it's all said and done, that $80 price point that definitely is sticker shock to see a first party Nintendo Switch 2 game rather sold at that price point, maybe Nintendo can help justify that price point just a little bit and back up what some of their executives are saying, where they're saying it's a once in a generational game, it's going to transform the landscape of gaming, and it feels worth it for the 80. Nintendo obviously needs to sell a large portion of the audience on those type of statements, and Mario Kart World Direct on the 17th will be their opportunity to do that. So let me know in the comments down below if you're excited for any of the new details we've learned about Mario Kart World recently. Are you looking forward to the Direct on the 17th? Are you somebody that because of the $80 price point, you're really not excited about this game anymore? And do you think we will ultimately see the game launch with the 120 FPS mode like we are seeing multiple outlets now cover and report upon? So make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.